Good evening, Bahamas, and Merry Christmas Eve. You're tuned into NB12, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, hundreds of Bahamian families could go hungry on Christmas Day, and charities are appealing for help. Some Bay Street store owners without power on one of the busiest shopping days of the year. The opposition doubting government success in BTC negotiations, and what Atlantis has to say about the gaming bill delay. We've got those stories and so much more coming up. It's Christmas Eve. I'm Paige McCartney, and NB12 starts right now. Welcome once again to NB12. The holidays won't be so happy this year for many families across the country. Hundreds of people on the Family Islands may be forced to go hungry on Christmas Day after a huge fall-off in donations prevented the Bahamas Red Cross from delivering desperately needed food parcels. Officials are hoping a few Good Samaritans will come forward with donations. Our Vonique Toot has the story.
Faced with an increase in demand and a 60% decrease in donations, the Bahamas Red Cross made the difficult decision not to send food parcels similar to this one to over 700 residents on the Family Islands this Christmas. Director General Caroline Turnquest says she knows it will be tough this holiday season, especially for residents of one Family Island which had 300 recipients.
Our parcels are delayed this year simply because the funding was just not there to accomplish that. We, as you know, have had a few challenges this year, and while persons still donate, we have regular persons that donate, we have escalating operational costs. With reduced donations and more persons in need,
they might not have the good fortune of enjoying a ham and turkey dinner each Christmas, but hundreds of people living on the Family Islands were just grateful to have food on the table, thanks to charities like the Bahamas Red Cross. Each year, the mailboat sailed in with boxes filled to the brim with basic items like rice, grits, flour, and soup. But this holiday season, nothing came.
Around about this time, they go to the mailboat expecting the parcels. And of course, we had to let them know that we're unable to do it, and we're hoping, by the grace of God, to do it in early January.
Turnquest called it a heartbreaking decision, noting that struggling Bahamians have come to rely on such donations. The organization only has enough resources, though, to meet the demand for its Meals on Wheels food program here in New Providence, which feeds incapacitated people. Volunteers loaded up the bus this morning to ensure those in need have a hot meal this Christmas Eve.
Sean, this where Mary Raming's living. So you will go by the same route and you'll get her. Okay?
Okay.
All right. That's the only new woman on now.
However, Turnquest says they haven't given up on those Family Island residents. The parcels officials usually send to the Family Islands are much bigger than this one. Turnquest pointed out that Christmas is just one day, and you can still help to spread holiday cheer to those families in need by donating non-perishable goods.
I'm sure in all this spirit of giving, there are persons that have excess. They may want to share. They can still donate to the Bahamas Red Cross. If they don't have the funds, they can perhaps go to a wholesaler, purchase groceries, or even share some of the things that they would have received over the holidays.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
And one family won't be having much of a Christmas tomorrow either after repairs to their small 3-bedroom home in Farm Road and Centerville constituency have been delayed for weeks.
I'm so sorry.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's so bad.
Okay.
I can't even buy food to put my house to eat.
So there's no food here
No.
for tomorrow. So you don't have a Christmas dinner tomorrow?
Raquel Simmons lives in this small 3-bedroom home on Strawn's Corner with her 2 young sons and her husband. It's not much, but she says what she has, she keeps as clean as possible. When government announced Urban Renewal's Small Homes Repairs Program, Simmons said she signed up right away, knowing that she could never afford to make the much-needed changes to her home alone. So she was thrilled when work started about a month ago. She met the contractor assigned to her home and was promised the work would take 2 to 3 weeks max. But nearly 2 weeks over schedule and just one day before Christmas, Simmons said she is still living in a worse state than the one she had hoped to improve in time for the holidays.
The living conditions right now is poor. Poor right now because we have to be in the tin tub and the dust and the dirt inside, they're inhaling that. My little boy have asthma. I'm getting sick. My husband is getting sick from this dust.
Despite the delays in the repairs, Simmons said she has done all she can to help speed up the process, even using her savings to build a wall that would finally separate the kitchen and the bathroom.
I had to pay to get this piece put in just to have a little privacy. You understand?
This is the bathroom.
Yeah, this is the bathroom.
And they're supposed to be fixing all of this.
Yeah, all of this is supposed to be fiction. I see I have to put a piece of something just to block off from the kitchen part.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
How many
And
rooms?
It's a 3-bedroom.
Okay.
When it rains, it pours. See, it's a tub piece of the bathe in.
This is a tub you have to bathe
Bathe
in.
in, yeah. And this is catch the water when it rains, it pours in here. In here, all about in here, it pours. You know?
Wow.
And all of the ants, where the house is
Yeah.
so old,
They
they
come in
dropping
and they
down and
collapse.
inside my 2 bedrooms, the ants, the red ants and stuff.
The mother said the family won't have much of a Merry Christmas this year, but that's not her concern at this time.
So how is this going to affect your Christmas tomorrow?
Well, I really want, but the Christmas I warm, but my house getting due, and my children comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and right now we have nowhere to stay, but in this house with all this dirt and thing going on, you know.
And I see you weren't even able to put up your decorations or anything like that.
Nothing I can do nothing.
Yeah. So what are your plans for tomorrow? What are you going to do?
Ain't nothing I could do. Ain't nothing I could do.
Simmons said she has attempted to get in touch with urban renewal authorities to get some resolution, claiming she paid a personal visit to urban renewal co-chairperson Cynthia Mother Pratt, but was unsuccessful. She said she has even tried to contact her member of parliament.
Well, this Perry Christie constituency, and I pray God personally, I need to see him on one-on-one personally. You know, because I can't reach him, I can't get in contact with him. I back and forth to the office, you have to make an appointment, what the appointment is about and all of that.
We were unable to reach Mother Pratt or urban renewal officials up to news time, but NB12 has been in contact with the contractor today, who said the repairs were delayed because government hadn't released the money. He said the funds were just released today, and he purchased the remaining materials and promised to work quickly to have the home repairs completed.
Well, some Bay Street store owners livid today after going without electricity since last night. The Bahamas Electricity Corporation today admitted there was a power generation problem downtown that started at around 9:30 last night, but they couldn't get to the problem this morning because they couldn't access substations on private property. This resulted in much of downtown Nassau being without power at times today, and many stores with electronic shutters being unable to open at all. BEC said it had most of the businesses up and running this afternoon, but said it was still having issues with Charlotte Street this afternoon. BEC promised it will have downtown up and running for Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. Well, last week, Prime Minister Perry Christie said negotiations with Cable and Wireless Communications regarding the buyback of the Bahamas Telecommunications Company are complete, and before the end of the year, he will present a final outcome from Cable and Wireless to Cabinet. This morning, Opposition Leader Dr. Hubert Minnis again expressed doubts over the government's success and advised government to follow in the steps of the prior administration. Dana Smith reports.
Once again criticizing the government's bid to take back control of BTC in wake of the Prime Minister's latest comments on the matter. Minnis said the government knows it cannot be successful in its plan and called on the Christie administration to instead empower Bahamians and sell some of its shares to the public.
The Christie-led government has continuously tried to convince the Bahamian public that they would purchase this additional 2% for majority share. They know that cannot happen. He's been pontificating for a long time, and he needs to come straight and be truthful with the Bahamian public.
The government sold 51% of BTC to Cable and Wireless Communications back in 2011, a move that drew widespread censure from the PLP. Minnis explained this morning the F&M government retained the other 49% and had planned to offer 9% to the public. He said the current government should go back to the prior administration's plan.
When we were government, we had left 9% shares for the Bahamian public. This is a great opportunity for government to sell to the Bahamian people the 9%, which would be sold at the price that it was originally purchased at Cable and Wireless. Now that value had gone up since then, and therefore the common average individual would qualify for a loan knowing that if the share value is at $3 purchase but can be resold at $5, $7, no bank would deny them any form of loan. So that would automatically empower Bahamians.
Prime Minister Perry Christie said last week he will present a final outcome from Cable and Wireless to Cabinet before the end of the year, so that government can decide what its position is, whether it will accept that, quote, final outcome or not. Minnis explained he believes that's a sign the government will announce that it has not been successful in its election campaign promise to regain majority of BTC.
I think it's all a flam, all a flam. I think he has been doing all the speaking previously, and now taken into cabinet so that he can make a statement eventually to say that the government has, the cabinet has made a decision that we would not pursue this any further. There are a lot of other issues that we have to deal with.
Minnis claimed not only will the government be unsuccessful in its plan to take back BTC, but the public, as well as the Christie administration, is aware of what he explained will be imminent acceptance of defeat.
Oh, God. He knows that. Your 10-year-old brother knows that. I mean, Christie's a 70-year-old man. He should know that. I would be sorry for him if he don't know it at this time.
Minnis said the government, quote, must come out of business and focus on ensuring proper regulations and monitoring for the sector. Reporting for MB12, I'm Dana Smith.
Well, Atlanta's executives are unfazed by the delay in the debate over the controversial gaming bill. However, President and Managing Director George Marcantonus says they are anxious to see if government approves private gaming salons. The bill was tabled in the House of Assembly in October, and debate was expected to begin soon after. However, that didn't happen after several Progressive Liberal Party backbenchers criticized the bill over what some felt were discriminatory measures. Marcantonus told MB12 the construction of new private gaming salons at the resort hinges on the passing of the gaming bill, which would give casino operators the authority to engage in internet gaming.
We're going to wait for government to see if government will approve the gaming regulations. One of the regulations that's there, and it's been in print, so it's not as if it's confidential, is that we're hoping government will approve private gaming salons as are presently existent in both Las Vegas and Atlantic City, as well as all of our other major competitors. And that's where we would, if we got the approval, that's where we would really like to put our private gaming salons and our high-end slot area. I'm anxious from the point of view of the sooner I know if we can have private gaming rooms or not, the sooner we can go to design and build them. I mean, those things don't happen in 1 or 2 weeks. But besides the timeline, we will wait until our politicians have figured it out.
The bill maintains the status quo by prohibiting Bahamians residing in the Bahamas, permanent residents and work permit holders, from gambling legally in casinos. According to a PLP source, the cabinet is giving backbenchers and others in the party an opportunity to engage in internal dialogue regarding the bill. Marcantonus said he understands the issues the government faces with the bill.
Government has work to do on it. There's a lot of constituents who are involved. It seems as if it's obviously a very controversial subject, at the least, very sensitive. We're going to just wait to hear.
And earlier this month, Baha Mar Senior Vice President of Administration and External Affairs, Robert Sand, said resort officials are disappointed in the delay. Stay with us. When MP12 returns, the Minister of Immigration vows to make reducing the number of illegal migrants entering the country a priority in 2014.